Fisch is currently Roblox's most trending game, with over 183,000 players right now. Even Roblox made a tweet about it saying, "We're relaxing with some fish. What's your rarest catch of the day?" So of course, I had to try the game out. Now, when I first spawned in, I got stuck in a black box. But luckily, the second time worked fine. And I spoke to Pierre to get my first quest, to catch 3 fish. All I had to do to catch a fish was shake my fishing rod, and then reel the fish in, which I didn't know how to do, and ended up, not catching my first one. But it's fine, because my second one went very well, and I managed to catch a trout. And doing this unlocked my bestiary, which I thought was illegal in most countries. And damn was my first fish beautiful. My attempt to then catch my second fish caused me to fall in the water and nearly drown. But I had quickly learned how to catch fish masterfully. And I caught this. A red snapper. What a beauty. And while I was trying to catch my third and final fish, it quickly became night time. And I managed to catch a salmon, completing my first quest. Pierre then offered me some extra quests, and I just said, sure. And now my goal was to make 500 coins from selling fish. I spent all my money upgrading my fishing rod, and then I sold the fish that I had caught, and bought myself a crab cage. Oh, and if you're enjoying this video so far, please subscribe, and please leave a like. I then proceeded to roam the island, looking for a new hidden fishing spot. And I had found myself a comfy ledge to start fishing on. So I put down my crab cage and went to work, catching this fish. A sockeye salmon. And again, I caught myself a sockeye salmon. And then the third time, I caught a sockeye salmon. So the fourth time I knew it was going to be something different. And it was a sockeye salmon. So I left my secret hiding spot to try and catch some better fish. And I'm glad I did, because I immediately caught a trout, even though it was super tiny. I then thought I had caught something special because of a red glow under the water, but it was just a red snapper. And because of my disappointments, I swam to the nearest island. And it luckily paid off, because even though I caught a salmon, I also caught a treasure map, which I needed to take to Forsaken Shores so that I could get the coordinates of my treasure. So I sold my fish. And I caught a big trout before seeing a GPS on a chair, which I bought so that I could pinpoint the exact location of my treasure. I then caught a few more fish, and I was finally able to complete my second quest, which allowed me to buy my first boat. And of course, I couldn't afford any, except this little rowboat right at the bottom. And with my new boat, I set sail towards the Forsaken Shores to find myself a treasure. But I also jumped in this whirlpool thinking it would take me somewhere cool, but I just ended up drowning. But after setting sail again, I found the Forsaken Shores. And because I needed to find the guy who could decode my map, I naturally went to the giant skull. And inside the skull, I started climbing. And of course, there was nothing there. So I asked a nearby furry for help, but they ignored me. So instead, I asked these people. And a military waifu and black and white guy guided me to where I needed to go. And I wasn't far off, because the pirate was in the skull's eyes, not its mouth. And so I paid 250 coins to get the coordinates of my treasure. And setting sail once again, I used my GPS and the treasure map to go towards it. And a few minutes later, I had arrived in the vicinity of my treasure. And after searching around some nearby rocks, I spotted something at the bottom of the ocean. So I dived in and opened the treasure that was rightfully mine, unlocking the compass bobber. And I must admit, after the video, I googled what the bobbers did, and it turns out they're completely cosmetic. But while I was playing the game, I really did think that this bobber would help me catch very rare fish. because the first fish I caught with this new bobber was the heaviest one I had ever caught. And when sailing back to sell the rest of my fish, I remembered my crab cage, which I soon collected. And in it was a lobster. I then sold everything, earning me 484 coins. So now I was only 348 coins away from upgrading my fishing rod. Thanks for watching.